Hey y'all, it's Katie. Another midweek devotional today from University United Methodist Church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I'm coming to you a little bit later than usual because I had scheduled a panel discussion at Louisiana Public Broadcasting. You can see all the equipment behind me. And I just finished a conversation that was filmed and will be aired at some point between faith leaders like myself, politicians, people that are law experts and health experts, someone in counseling. And it was a really just fascinating time of exchanging ideas and perspectives and, in some cases, speaking truth. And I guess this whole experience got me thinking again about what it is to speak to what we know is true. It may seem like a simple thing. I mean, I probably take that kind of discipline for granted because I preach every week. But beyond preaching in Scripture, there's so many other ways that we as human beings, I as a human being, you as a human being, are called to speak to what we know for the benefit of others. I wonder if you can think about a time, maybe in a relationship or in your workplace, where you maybe saw something or knew something just wasn't quite right, and you spoke into that reality in a way that benefited someone else. I know I can think about times just like that. I can even think about from my youngest days that moment where maybe the same kind of infractions, the same kind of affronts have been committed, and ultimately you come to that breaking point where you have to say something or have to do something. Even with my kids, I try to generate in them some sense of courage that even if they speak out and someone comes back at them with anger or frustration, or in their case is a bully on the playground, right, that they will not be broken, that things will be okay, and it's still part of our call to do that in times when it makes sense. So I was thinking about today as I was driving over to this conversation, a scripture from 1 Peter. Can't remember the exact verse, but it was 1 Peter, I think chapter 6, that talks about this preparation that we have in our hearts to give voice to the hope that we have, that we would always be prepared to give a defense of the gospel in which we believe. And that's both the gospel of Scripture and the ways that our faith and belief rise out of that holy text and out of our faith to meet common life practically every day, seeking the good of many. And when I think about that text, it's kind of a refreshing reminder that in the big things, and especially in the small things, in the times that feel like they are urgent and consequential, and frankly, in a time like right now, in the pandemic, for instance, where the vaccines have been out for a while and you think, okay, why am I speaking into this reality? Anybody who's going to get the shot has already gotten it, and the other folks are all going to stand their ground for the foreseeable future. That kind of mindset, I think, undercuts God's possibility that is always present, active, and alive in us if only we would look, if only we would pay attention to the ways that God works around us to inspire and to transform with or in spite of what we do. It's not about you. I would much rather be on the side of participating in the work that God is about in the world and in every human heart. So part of what I want you to consider today is thinking again about maybe that one time where you actually did have the courage to say something or to write a letter, or even maybe it's not a hard word, maybe it's a word of forgiveness or reconciliation. And pay attention to those times where you could see the signs that you knew it was the moment. Pay attention to those times in your story where you could feel that tipping point where it was just the thing that had to be done, that there was nothing else that you could do, and no more time could pass until you approach this person or this situation to, again, account for what you know is right, or to account for maybe the hope that you have for the future. I know for me, I continue to share the message that even though we are individuals in this world, that we are, at least by virtue of our faith, mutually bound. And there is no way that we can completely count ourselves as autonomous from another. And so I'm thankful that I get to be connected to you today. No matter how you're connecting with me, whether you're here in Baton Rouge or someplace 1,000 miles away watching this video, know that you are not alone. And in the midst of all of your discernment and hard conversations and a potentially difficult word to offer at times, there is a God that is always drawing close to the brokenhearted and always undergirding every leader and servant, son and daughter in God's image with strength beyond our own strength. So trust that that reality is yours today as we face all that is in front of us in the days to come. I pray that you will feel deeply that you have everything you need right now by the grace of God to meet every challenge that is before you. Take care, friends, and I hope you have a wonderful and peace-filled day.